He also pulled a knife on a cop, along with other things. Joining me now is Jack Brewer, a former NFL safety turned CEO, who's actually endorsed Kathy Barnette. Jack, again, we want to get all the information here. I think Dave McCormick is a strong candidate. Kathy Barnette, I don't know as much about, but a lot of controversy about her out there as well. But you say that former President Trump's endorsement of Oz was a mistake. Why do you say that?
Because I don't think he represents what American ideals and conservative principles are. I think he is wish-washy. I think he'll say whatever he can to be elected. I think his money and fame is the reason that he got the endorsement. And I think a lot of those that are in power in the media and in corporate America want to see individuals like this. I think this is the old establishment playbook. And I know Kathy Barnette. I know her personally. And to compare these two, I mean, it's not even a comparison. If you were hiring someone to run your company or you were hiring someone to oversee your family, it'd be someone like Kathy Barnette, not Dr. Oz. You know, I've heard him on The Breakfast Club and all of these other things. He panders to the woke left. He panders to the ideals that are destructing the poorest of the poor in our nation. He panders to mass abortions. And
yeah,
so
well,
whenever you
we're going to play some of that. What do you say to the tweets that are getting all the attention, the Kathy Barnette tweets about boarding planes and other things she said that have gotten a lot of heat out there? What about those?
I think a lot of that is out of context. You know, first off, they're doctoring up so many different things and trying to smear her. You know, I don't come out talking about Dr. Oz or anybody else, but when you start smearing a woman of God like Kathy Barnette, who served in our military, who's been a devout Christian all of her life, I have a problem with that. And the tweets that she made, many of them are taken completely out of context. You start talking about Muslims and people are saying she wants to ban all Muslims. She was talking about Islamic extremists. In the time period, if you go back and look when she put those tweets out and made those statements, the time period that we were in was a trying time when we were all wondering who was coming over here. And so I think she is a true conservative. We all know that. As a black conservative, it takes a lot to stand up for the MAGA movement, stand up for President Trump. You are going to get attacked. Your families are going to get attacked. So when she steps out for President Trump like she did in 16 and in 20, listen, I didn't always like President Trump, but he woke my eyes up and he brought in a new perspective on elections, a new perspective on our political process, and understanding how the deep state really works. And I think this is an example of the deep state now turning against Kathy Barnette. Republicans and conservatives, we need a black woman like Kathy Barnette representing us, speaking for us. She does speak for America, and I think we're making a huge mistake by slandering her.
Yeah, the pile-on is quite something to see. Here's Dr. Oz today responding to the heat that he's gotten.
What's ironic is big money groups, never Trump groups, have now come into Pennsylvania with outside money, and they're wrongly supporting Kathy Barnette and putting her in contention. When you're an outsider, the insider establishment, they come after you with everything they've got. And I've been able to stand on my own 2 feet very proudly and live up to the promise of my campaign.
Jack, your reaction. Dr. Oz is he's a very well-known person. He has an enormous amount of celebrity and kind of star power, and I guess, but he's an outsider or she's an outsider. It's hard to follow that.
Hard to follow when you have a woman who started a campaign with 3 individuals going out campaigning, talking to people directly. All of a sudden, she's in a statistical tie with someone who's spending $50-60 million. It just doesn't make sense. That logic is not there. Kathy Barnette is resonating with people because of her message, because of her story. A woman who was born out of a rape and all of these other issues we talk about. She represents everything great about the United States of America. And I'll tell you what, if they continue this, we are going to lose so many strong black conservatives. If you look across, Laura, the strongest black conservatives in our nation have supported Kathy Barnette, and that is for a reason. These are Trump supporters.
So you disagree with this massive concern that's being raised that she cannot win a general election. Obviously, the Republicans can't lose this seat. This is a seat they should win. Your contention is that despite all this stuff bubbling around, that she can win this Senate seat and go to Washington and fight for America First principles. Is that what you're contending?
I'm telling you right You'll see historic black women voting for a Republican in Pennsylvania like you've never seen. You'll see people like me. I'm a former Philadelphia Eagle. I'll be on the ground campaigning for her. We will have a landslide victory because we will go in and get the minority vote like no other Republican has ever done in the state of Pennsylvania.
Well, Jack, we're going to be watching this. This is really a three-way race right now. A lot of money spent, and it's all pretty much tied up. Jack Brewer, thank you for joining us.